2 shots to the torso, 1 to the head. Even the doctor could only shake his head. This film has been highly praised by military enthusiasts and tactics fans over the past 2 years, and it is also the best and most explosive gunfight action quadrilogy in recent years. The tactical details and weaponry showcased in the film are a paradise for military enthusiasts. Brothers who often handle guns know that gunfighting at extremely close range is a highly difficult discipline, and John Wick's chest-held firing stance here is the famous CARS tactical firearm system, short for the center axis relock system. As the name suggests, it is a shooting system based on the body's center line, very suitable for close quarters shooting in confined spaces. This firearm system was created by British police officer Paul Castle, who, based on his law enforcement experience and protective career, developed a shooting system more suitable for close-range reaction, its advantages and characteristics being rapid reaction and firing first. John's primary weapon is the HK-P30L produced by Germany's Heckler & Koch. The P30L is the extended version of the P30 and also features a custom muzzle compensator. The gun has been produced in 2 calibers, 9x19mm and .40s, and the detachable double-stack magazine capacity for the 9mm caliber is 15 rounds, with a muzzle velocity of about 900 meters per second. Today we'll dive into this film full of violent aesthetics and heart-pounding tension. John Wick. John Wick was originally a top-tier assassin, once killing 3 fully armed men in a bar using only a pencil. Because his wife Helen was seriously ill, he chose to retire. Not long after, Helen passed away, despite treatment, which was an immensely painful blow for John, dimming his happy life forever. To keep John from feeling alone, Helen gifted him a puppy before her death, hoping to stay by his side in another way. Looking at the puppy before him, John knew this would be his emotional anchor to continue living. Over time, with the puppy's companionship, John gradually emerged from his pain. On this day, John drove his '69 Ford Mustang as usual, bringing the puppy to a gas station. While he was refueling, he encountered several thugs. Their leader, Yosef, took a liking to John's Ford Mustang and demanded to buy his car at a low price. But John just looked at him coldly without speaking, then drove away directly. The 2 thugs watched John drive off, revealing sinister smiles. Soon, John arrived at the airstrip to race. Here's a small detail. The novel in the security guard's hand at the entrance is The Art of Awareness by Terry Ann, published in 1979, which includes a story about an assassin successfully killing an enemy using just a pencil, a story that perfectly fits John's world. At night, John returned home and was about to sleep, but the puppy kept barking incessantly downstairs. John followed the sound down, only to see 2 masked men upon reaching the bottom. Immediately, he was knocked to the ground by a blunt blow. Then they began brutally beating John. The attackers turned out to be Yosef and his group from the gas station earlier that day. They ransacked John's home and even killed the puppy right in front of him, the final gift from his deceased wife. After finding the car keys in the room, Yosef grabbed John by the hair. John woke up later. The puppy lying beside him had stopped breathing, holding the only memento left by his deceased wife. A seed of vengeance took root. Early the next morning, John first buried the puppy under the large tree in the yard, then began meticulously cleaning the bloodstains on the floor, his eyes turning fiercely cruel. The feared boogeyman John was back. These criminals could never imagine that over a dog, they would soon pay with their lives. They drove the car to a chop shop to completely change the appearance of the Ford Mustang. But the owner, Aurelio, turned pale upon seeing the Ford Mustang. He recognized it as John's car. Yosef wasn't an ordinary thug either. He was the only son of the local biggest crime boss, known for his arrogant and domineering behavior. Aurelio told Yosef to leave his shop immediately. He wouldn't dare touch John's car. But Yosef still didn't grasp the seriousness, even foolishly angering Aurelio, who punched him in the face. Word of this punch quickly reached the crime boss Vigo, who immediately called Aurelio to demand an explanation. However, upon hearing that his son not only stole John's car, but also killed his dog, Vigo's face instantly changed color. He knew well the terror John represented. When he went downstairs, he saw his son returning. Without a word, he punched Yosef hard enough to make him vomit, then pulled him up and punched him again. Yosef still had no idea why he was being hit. John's identity terrified even crime boss Vigo. Finally, he hugged his son, as if giving him final last rites. Meanwhile, John learned from Aurelio that Yosef was Vigo's son, undoubtedly making his revenge much harder. But losing his beloved wife was already a fatal blow. Now losing his car and dog became the final straw. This vengeance must be delivered. John then returned home, took a sledgehammer to the basement, and began smashing the floor. The previously unbreakable concrete instantly cracked, Pulling away the rubble revealed a long sealed box, an arsenal fit for a king, filled with gold coins, guns, and ammunition. The two in the middle are John's primary sidearms, the HKP-30L, equipped with muzzle suppressors mainly to reduce muzzle flip. Beside them are two compact Glock 26 pistols, typically used as backups. Each gun here has a spare magazine. Below is a COP 21245 Tonto combat dagger, the standard issue knife for the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. In the bottom left corner is a Microtech UTX-70 automatic knife, small, light, and easy to carry, generally used for eliminating targets discreetly in emergencies. On the right are A&M-14 TH-3 incendiary grenades, which burn at temperatures reaching 2,200 degrees Celsius and can even sustain burning underwater for 30 to 45 seconds. Meanwhile, Vigo knew exactly what kind of force John represented, but the trouble caused by his son was something the father had to bear with all his might. He called John, hoping he would spare his son, his voice tinged with fear and pleading. But John didn't say a word, hanging up the phone directly. At this moment, Vigo knew John's revenge had begun, but he still couldn't bear to see his son killed, so he decided to strike first, sending 12 assassins to eliminate John. John, however, began preparing for a shower at a leisurely pace. Here we can see the tattoos on John's back. On his left shoulder is a burning hellhound. On his right shoulder is a wolf's head howling at the moon. These two designs are often found on prisoners in Russian prisons, symbolizing rebellion against authority and oppression. The tattoo in the center of his back is praying hands on a cross pattern, indicating John is a devout and faithful man. The Latin phrase fortis fortuna adiuvat across his upper back means fortune favors the bold. This is actually the motto of the 3rd Battalion Marines at Marine Corps Base Hawaii in Kaneohe Bay, both a nod to Keanu Reeves' Hawaiian heritage and a hint that the John he portrays has a Marine Corps background. He then began suiting up in his professional hunting attire. As he dressed, it's visible that his watch is worn face inward, and this can be seen in many scenes afterward. This face-inward style is standard practice for special forces and security personnel, mainly to avoid the watch face reflecting light and revealing their position. After putting on his assassin custom suit, he picked up his pistol and turned off the lights. At the same time, the assassins had quietly infiltrated John's home. John's hunting hour had begun. John first surprised and killed one person from the shadows, then disarmed the second person, shot the third person in the knee, immediately killed the second person, and then finished off the third. He used his familiarity with the terrain to relocate quickly before enemies arrived. Fighting in the dark, the assassins' guns were equipped with tactical flashlights, which, while aiding target identification in low light, also posed the risk of exposure. John then reloaded, turned, threw an enemy over his shoulder, shot an enemy in the shadows, and delivered a finishing shot. Precise gunplay swiftly wiped out the first wave of assassins. Immediately, the second wave began, with assassins using Glock 17 pistols fitted with short-barreled suppressors and also equipped with tactical flashlights. When an enemy's tactical light swept over John's position, he stepped out, incapacitated the first man, used him as a human shield, quickly shot the second, and didn't forget a finishing shot. Every shot was clean, every movement precise, as he single-handedly took down over a dozen assassins. He then encountered his most troublesome opponent yet. When the two met, John grabbed his hand first, who in turn grabbed John's gun, leading to an intense hand-to-hand struggle. When the last enemy was knocked down and tried to struggle, John mercilessly stabbed him 3 times. Just then, the doorbell suddenly rang. Seeing the flashing police lights outside, John guessed why they had come.
Noise complaint.
Noise complaint.
Seeing the floor littered with bodies, the officer simply took off his hat, signaling he was off duty, and turned to leave. John then called and ordered a meal for 12. The door opened. 5 body cleaners entered, used 12 Universal Assassin gold coins for the 12 bodies, cleaned the bloodstains from the scene, and finally packed up and removed all the bodies. Learning the assassins he sent were completely wiped out, Vigo didn't show the slightest surprise. After all, he knew John's capabilities. He then issued a bounty notice, setting the bounty at a staggering $2 million. He then approached John's associate Marcus, offering him double the bounty to join the hunt. Meanwhile, home was no longer safe, so John checked into the Continental. This is a hotel under the Assassin League, a safe haven for all assassins. The Continental has one famous rule. No killing is permitted on the hotel premises, so it provides a neutral zone for this underworld society. That night, John found the hotel manager Winston and learned from him that a bounty had been placed on his head, and all assassins would be coming for him. So, after successfully getting the location of Vigo's son Iosef, John immediately returned to his room to prepare his weapons and gear. John then put on the vest, secured the dagger, and prepared to activate slaughter mode. Soon, he appeared outside the club where Iosef was partying, and the killing officially began. At that moment, Iosef's accomplice was washing his face, unaware death had arrived.
Where's Joseph?
John then silently eliminated the guards along the way and quickly located Iosef. But just as he was observing, a hitman spotted him. The commotion of their fight alerted everyone. Seeing John, Iosef's legs instantly went weak. John formally initiated the Mozambique drill. The specific operation involves firing 2 shots to the target's torso to incapacitate, followed swiftly by a shot to the head to ensure the target is dead. After emptying the G26, he immediately switched to the P30L and began pursuing Iosef for the kill. Protected by his men, Iosef managed to escape to the second floor, with John in close pursuit, fighting his way up. But this floor was practically a gangster den, filled with bodyguards protecting Iosef. Fortunately, John was experienced, landing headshots with every bullet, no shot wasted. Note the detail. The P30L has a 15-round magazine capacity, and John reloaded after every 15 shots. After reaching the 3rd floor and confirming temporary safety, John swiftly reloaded his gun. Here it's visible that while changing magazines, John maintained vigilance against enemy movements, completing the reload without looking at the magazine or pistol. Note John's magazine grip. Index finger extended along the front of the magazine to guide it into the magwell, allowing him to keep eyes on the target during the reload and perform it smoothly, even in darkness. He then launched a new wave of attacks, first unbalancing enemies in close combat before shooting vital areas. At this moment, Iosef fully realized John's terror and kept running to evade his attacks. The assassin's principle is that every shot must be lethal, so John wouldn't fire unless he had a precise aim on Iosef's position. Just as Iosef was about to escape, John was intercepted by a hitman who suddenly arrived and then shot him. Although the body armor blocked the 9mm bullet's penetration, his body still absorbed most of the kinetic energy. And this assassin was arguably the strongest opponent John faced in the film. In real life, he is a stuntman, proficient in various martial arts with top-tier reaction time and endurance. Ultimately, Iosef successfully escaped in the chaos, and John was also seriously injured. After returning to the hotel, John had his wounds treated with the help of an old Chinese doctor, then lay down on the bed to rest. But at that moment, Marcus set up his sniper rifle on the rooftop opposite him. Marcus was using a modified, takedown Ruger M77 sniper rifle. Peering through the scope, Marcus spotted another figure at the door, so he decisively pulled the trigger to warn John of the danger. Upon closer observation, you'll notice Marcus's scope was aimed directly at John's head when he fired, but the bullet hit the pillow beside him. This is a meticulous detail in the film, because before firing, you can see Marcus's hair drifting slightly to the left, meaning he accounted for wind speed affecting the bullet's trajectory. John quickly rolled off the bed seeking cover, just as he saw the female assassin Perkins sneaking in. Realizing she was exposed, Perkins immediately opened fire with her suppressed Walther P99, shooting at John. The original P99 cannot be suppressed. It requires replacing the barrel with a threaded one. After dodging Perkins' attack, they quickly grappled, but soon John had Perkins subdued. To avoid breaking the Continental's rules, after forcing Perkins to reveal the location of Vigo's secret vault, John simply knocked her out and handed her over to the neighbor next door. Early the next morning, John stormed the target location. After swiftly dispatching all the guards, he reached the vault's core, gathered all the gold coins and cash, then destroyed everything with 2 incendiary grenades. Vigo arrived soon after getting the news, but before he could even get angry, his bodyguards started dropping. John, wielding a CA-415 assault rifle made by American company Kali, fired rapidly, taking out several of Vigo's bodyguards. At first glance, this rifle resembles the HK-416, but closer inspection reveals it isn't. From the side of the receiver, you can see it lacks Hong Kong's iconic markings. Instead, it has the English word Kali, for the American company Kali. This gun is their replica version of the HK-416, named the CA-415. The CA-415 seen in the film is a modified model. It features a shortened barrel equipped with a holographic sight, has a vertical grip, and uses 30-round double-stack polymer magazines, firing 5.56 by 45mm NATO standard ammunition. Ensuring continuous fire, John smoothly switched to his pistol. The dual pistol interchange and tactical application were executed perfectly. He then reloaded, preparing for another round of fire, but suddenly a car rammed into him, knocking John to the ground. He was defeated by this bodyguard once again. When John woke up, he was tied to a chair, restrained by Vigo and his bodyguard. The arrogant Vigo began insulting John directly. Not only John, but also his wife and his dog. He couldn't understand, was it worth so many deaths over a dog? He then punched John. This finally pushed John over the edge, and he retorted,
So you can either hand over your son, or you can die!
As soon as he spoke, Vigo's bodyguard placed a plastic bag over his head. Meanwhile, Marcus had arrived, setting up his Ruger M77 and shooting one bodyguard dead. As John's former partner, he didn't want to see the legendary figure die like this. John seized the chance to break free, grappling with the other bodyguard. A swift chokehold finished him, then John used a knife to cut the zip ties. He then picked up a Keltec KSG shotgun fitted with a holographic sight and vertical grip and chased after Vigo's direction. John quickly took a shortcut and intercepted Vigo before he could leave. The Keltec KSG is a bullpup configuration, dual-tube magazine pump-action shotgun designed and produced by Keltec. After forcing Vigo's car to stop, John unloaded into the front windshield. Seeing this, Vigo had no choice but to get out of the car. Under John's pressure, Vigo revealed his son's location. Iosef was now protected by an impenetrable fortress, surrounded by guards. But he still underestimated John's capabilities and didn't realize the imminent danger. Iosef's companion was even playing a game in the room. Here's a very subtle detail. The character name he used in the game was Neo, exactly the character Keanu Reeves played in The Matrix. Soon, John silently eliminated a sniper, then took position on a high gantry with a Desert Tech Stealth Recon Scout SRS sniper rifle. This is a multi-caliber bullpup bolt-action sniper rifle introduced in 2008 by Desert Tech. Its top MIL STD 1913 Picatinny rail can mount various day-night optics, and it features magazine releases on both sides for left-handed users. With a 5-round magazine, firing 7.62 by 51mm .308 Winchester ammunition, the first shot took out Iosef's companion. Shot after shot, the bodyguards at the entrance fell one by one. He then pressed the detonator, blowing up all the cars below, completely cutting off their escape route. Meanwhile, Iosef fled under guard escort, but just as they reached the first floor, the guard was shot dead. Seeing this, Iosef could only run desperately, but it was too late. John closed in step by step, delivered one clean shot, then turned and walked away coolly. Revenge complete, John prepared to leave the Continental. Upon departure, the hotel gifted John a new car as an apology for the assassination attempt he endured there. After leaving the hotel, John said his final farewell to Marcus by the river, unaware that Perkins, who had escaped earlier, witnessed this scene. Learning it was Marcus who betrayed him, Vigo, in a fit of rage, brutally murdered Marcus and arrogantly called John to tell him. When John arrived at Marcus's house, all he found was a cold corpse. John sank into grief once more. Meanwhile, because Perkins violated the Continental's rules, her membership was forcibly revoked, and she faced the consequences. Winston also informed John of Vigo's escape route. John immediately drove after him. This time, he would settle both old and new scores. John soon caught up behind Vigo's convoy, then floored the gas, ramming the trailing vehicle off the bridge. He then repeatedly rammed Vigo's car until it was completely disabled. Bodyguards in the car grabbed their guns and began firing wildly at John. Seeing this, John and his car became one. The vehicle transformed into the deadliest weapon, and his P-30L pistol fired like a submachine gun. Steering with one hand while firing with the other, he eliminated every enemy in his path. Just as John finished off the last bodyguard, Vigo suddenly drove straight into him. Fortunately, John reacted in time, jumping out the rear window moments before the car was pushed off the bridge. Now only John and Vigo remained. Vigo suggested putting down their weapons and settling it with fists in a hand-to-hand fight. But when losing, Vigo resorted to a dirty trick, pulling a dagger from behind and repeatedly stabbing at John. John didn't dodge. Instead, he used the momentum to drive the dagger into his own abdomen, then immediately broke Vigo's arm, pulled out the dagger, and plunged it into his neck. Finally, one dead, one injured, ended this war over a dog. Badly wounded, John then walked into an animal hospital, grabbed a stapler, and began stitching his own wound. During this whole process, he noticed all the dogs were barking frantically, except for one pit bull that remained aloof. Its solitary pride instantly attracted John, and he decided to take this pit bull home. Then, John walked it towards the starting point of John Wick Chapter 2, thus ending this film. This action film, simplified as, "You killed my dog, I'll take down your entire organization," appears on the surface as a revenge tale, but its core actually touches on the most hidden pain points of modern people. Everyone has a metaphorical dog that cannot be touched. It might be a project you worked nights on getting credited to a colleague, the car you saved for getting keyed, or a long-awaited vacation ruined by sudden overtime. Beneath the bloody, violent surface, turbulent undercurrents of existential philosophy surge. The thrill of John Wick lies in letting the on-screen John carry out the counterattacks we dare not make in reality, using the most violent means to defend that tiny yet crucial shred of dignity in life. See you in the next video.